Today, we have a lot of Rivian news, including a look at the new wind turbine being built at Rivian, updated EPA estimates for new dual motor vehicles, and an R1T that caught fire, and more. Now let's get into it. First up, the 2.8 megawatt wind turbine that Rivian announced in June of 2022 has finally arrived to the manufacturing factory for final assembly. Rivian has teamed up with Apex Clean Energy to install the new wind turbine, which will be capable of generating nearly 10 million kilowatts per hour of electricity per year, or the equivalent of almost 900 households. Rivian writes in a Twitter post, "The final components for Rivian's on-site wind turbine arrived in Normal. When the turbine is up and running, every new Rivian vehicle that rolls off our assembly line will get its first charge with 100% carbon-free energy, contributing to our goal of operating a net zero plant. Over a 25-year lifetime, this turbine will help to avoid around 177,000 tons of CO2 emissions. To put that into perspective, this would be the equivalent of 34,000 gas vehicles off the road for an entire year." Talk about living up to your expectations, as this wind turbine is part of Rivian's plan to reach net zero by 2040. And I think it's pretty cool to be able to say that your EV was powered by wind on arrival. All right, next up today, Rivian opens their Manhattan retail location with more spaces planned across North America. This location is right under Highline Park and is a family-friendly space that hopes to bring in prospective customers, Rivian owners, order holders, and the community to learn about all things Rivian. Rivian states, "With production ramping and thousands of new Rivian vehicles being delivered each month, we are putting down roots in our largest communities across North America. Our newest location is in New York and opens tomorrow, June 16th. This space will be great for those curious about the ins and outs of electrification, charging, and a better understanding of future road trip ideas." Now, visitors to the Manhattan location will also be able to see Rivian vehicles up and close and sign up for a test drive. The first community space opened its doors in October of 2021 in Venice Beach, where it serves as a testing ground to listen to the community, host pop-up events, and bring like-minded individuals together. Upcoming spaces include Vancouver, Canada, and Austin, Texas, with many more on the way. All right, next up today, a Rivian caught on fire. Yes, you heard that right. A Rivian R1T caught on fire while charging at an Electrify America station in California on June 5th. Now, the cause is still under investigation, but it's important to keep in mind that an electric vehicle is statistically less likely to catch on fire than a gasoline-powered vehicle. Unfortunately, this does occur, and it has happened in the past, as some of you may recall with the Chevy Bolt EV. Now, looking at the photo, the battery pack doesn't appear to be the problem, as the damage indicates the fire may have started around the charging port on the front driver's side. Electrek reached out to get word from Rivian themselves, who responded, "We are aware of the incident and we are conducting a full investigation. Nobody was harmed, and at this time it does not appear that the vehicle's high voltage battery was involved." I will do my best to keep you updated on the ongoing investigation, since the cause of the fire could be a result of multiple things. Luckily, no one was hurt, and this is a good opportunity to learn how to prevent this in the first place. Now, on to some better news. EPA estimates for Rivian's dual motor R1T and R1S have increased. The in-house powertrain entered production last month, and new findings from an EPA certification application have appeared, indicating a small bump in range and performance compared to Rivian's previous estimates. The following document surfaced with different configurations of the R1S with the large battery pack. Now, Rivian's estimated range with the all-terrain upgrade was 300 miles, and it is now 305 miles, or roughly 2% improvement. The 22-inch wheel option goes from a range of 320 miles to 340 miles, or roughly a 6% increase. And the longest range R1S with 21-inch wheels initially was thought to have 340 miles, while EPA ratings reached 352 miles, or roughly a 3.5% increase. Now, this is great news as dual motor vehicles coming off the factory line show grossly 10% improvements in range. And for those dying to know how this will affect horsepower, the dual motor variant has improved to 700 to 708 horsepower overall. I am extremely happy that the transition to an in-house motor is already paying off. Now, with the R2 platform coming soon, do you think that they will have a single motor option, or is that not going to be enough power for off-roading capabilities? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, speaking of the new dual motor, Rivian tweeted pictures of the new dual motor vehicle badges and brake calipers, writing, "With the launch of our dual motor and performance dual motor vehicles, look for silver brake calipers, satin silver badging, and a gloss black accent on the rear to tell them apart from our yellow accented quad motor vehicles." Now, I wish that they went with something other than the silver and black, because it's just boring. I would have loved to see a different color to make things just pop. Imagine they use the Rivian blue or red canyon color scheme to set them apart. I feel like this would be as eye-catching as the previous yellow accent, but let me know, are you a fan of the silver and black, or would you prefer something different? Lastly, Rivian is gearing up to accelerate the production of their R1S SUV due to the robust demand as discussed by CFO Claire McDonough. With the production ramp of the Enduro drive units being ahead of schedule and supply chain issues improving, Rivian anticipates the pace to pick up from 9,395 units built to reach its 50,000 unit target in the second half of this year. Rivian is seeing a higher demand of R1S than its original pickup truck, with it accounting for about 70% of all of the company's pre-orders. And I'm really happy to hear that the CFO says there are no specific bottlenecks limiting the transition from the R1T to the R1S production. The company is still working to get the vehicles out for those that pre-ordered their vehicles pre-March of 2022, which is great to hear that those waiting will hopefully have updates coming soon. While discussing this transition to R1S production, McDonough also touched upon the upcoming R2 series set to be unveiled early next year, saying they will be able to offer Rivian's adventure theme at an affordable price of $40,000 to $60,000. Now, I like seeing this price range, but I hope that over time it will come down, as Tesla is also charging for a vehicle under $30,000 with incentives. Now, that is all the latest Rivian news for today. Please subscribe to my channel for more Rivian updates, and in the meantime, if you want to get my thoughts on 3 changes that Rivian can make to compete with Tesla, please click the link up here or check the link in the description below. Now, thank you so much for watching, and remember, adventure is always out there.